In this video, I'm going to demonstrate to you, step by step, how you can use a detailed pricing spreadsheet, like the one on your screen, to find out the selling price of various handcrafted items, those items that are made by hand, and that you can make from different materials reach your selling price. If you are interested in this material, it is available for purchase at the link in the video description. Since we are dealing with handcrafted items, we are talking about a product that is formed from different materials. We'll take as an example a random craft item whose manufacturing materials are described here on the side. And that's exactly how the spreadsheet works. You will enter the items that are used to manufacture this handmade product that you are assembling, the quantity, and the spreadsheet will show you the selling price that you have to sell this handmade product. But before we get to that point, we have to enter other data. Why? When we are talking about pricing, you cannot only take into account those items that were necessary to create your handmade product. You need to think about the entire structure you have, in addition to these materials, which need to be included in your sales price so that you don't make a loss, or rather, so that you don't make a false profit. You think you have a profit and then you have to pay a lot of bills that impact your results. This data must be entered into the spreadsheet in the Fixed Costs and Variable Costs tabs in a very simple way, as you will see. Fixed costs should be entered in this tab that you are viewing. For each line, you will enter the name of the cost and how much per month you spend on this cost. In this case, what is a fixed cost? Fixed costs are costs that do not increase in value as you sell more items. So let's say you sell crafts. Your rent for the space you use to make these crafts is the same regardless of how many you sell. So this is a fixed cost. You will enter all the fixed costs of your business, as well as how much you sell in total with your crafts per month, that is, your monthly craft revenue. Because based on these two pieces of information, the spreadsheet will be able to calculate what percentage should be passed on to your sales price. Then we move on to variable costs, which, in this case, do change as you sell more products. Always consume a certain percentage of the sales price. For example, I'm talking about transaction fees, I'm talking about commissions, all the items that are variable percentages in relation to the revenue in your craft business, you need to put them here. The spreadsheet will automatically add up all these costs and will pass them on to your sales price. Finally, we must register the materials. What are the materials? These are the items you will use to make your handmade product. I'm talking about glue, I'm talking about thread, I'm talking about several things that in this case, for this example, I'm going to use. But you will have to analyze your business and you will have to register here. You will enter each material in a row. In each column you will put the name of that material, the reference quantity and the reference price. What does this mean? It means that when you go to buy materials to make your craft, you find this price in this quantity. For example, blue. I'm assuming that I'm going to pay $12 for 500 milliliters of cola. So that's why you have to register the data this way. When you are going to say the quantity of these materials that will be used in your handmade product, you have to enter a quantity that corresponds to this quantity here. For example, once again blue. If I'm going to use 15 milliliters and I registered it in ml, it's important that you take this into account when entering your data. Once the materials have been registered, we can enter which materials I will use in my product. So you notice that there is a column with the product name. You will enter through this checkbox all those that are part of your product and the quantity of each of them. So you will enter the quantity that will be used to make this product here. The spreadsheet automatically calculates the cost of your product, but it is the cost it costs you to manufacture this, just this product. This is not yet your full selling price. Next, you need to enter two more pieces of information, your desired margin and how many units this batch will produce. What are these two pieces of information? The desired margin is a percentage you enter that signals how much profit you will have left when you sell that product. For example, if you sold $100 at a profit of 35%, it means that after paying for everything, the cost of the product, fixed and variable costs, you will have a profit of 35% left. Furthermore, we have the information that this batch produces 20 units, for example. What does this mean? It means that, in this case, when you make a craft, if that craft generates a single product, you come here and put one. If this craft, the quantity of items and materials here generates, for example, 20 products, you come here and put 20. So, what you entered here regarding the quantity of items is enough to make how many products? You come and enter it here on the side, in this blank box. Based on this data, we already have our pricing. You have to say that the selling price should be, in this case, $14.23. Why? You have fixed costs of 35%, variable costs of 11, a margin of 35 that you put in, and so even though it costs you $2.66 to assemble this product, when you pass on all the costs, it should sell for $14.23. And then you realize that you go from a sales price of 14.23 Brazilian reals to a final net profit of 4.98 Brazilian reals, which is 35% of your sales price, which is exactly what you had defined as a premise. Of your sales price, which is exactly what you had defined as a premise, which is exactly what you had defined as a premise. And you can see, of these 14.23, how much goes to each item. For example, we have 1.57 of variable costs, which is 11% of the sale. You can see each of them here, according to the information you entered. We have 35% of fixed costs. We have 2.66 Brazilian reals of product cost. In total, the total costs are 9.25 Brazilian reals, and you have 14.23 Brazilian reals left. You still have 4.98 Brazilian reals left, which is your net profit. 4.98. What is your net profit? This spreadsheet was dynamic. That is, as you change the data, the sales price automatically changes, whether in the margin assumptions or in the cost of materials. Someday you might go there to buy the glue and the price is no longer 12, it's 14. So, with this, when you change here, everything that depends on pasting in the spreadsheet will change the value and you can, automatically, obtain your corrected sales price. This spreadsheet is the best spreadsheet for pricing craft items, and it can be yours through the link here in the video description. Don't miss the opportunity to acquire a high-quality spreadsheet that can help you considerably in your craft business. See you around and see you later.